What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to take a look at Casper. We are on TradingView. That's where we are checking out the chart. Today is January 16th, 2022. It is 12:26 p.m. over on the East Coast. Stock markets are closed tomorrow. Martin Luther King Day. It's a holiday. But as most of you probably already know, cryptocurrency does not stop trading. It will be trading tonight, tomorrow, and so on as of now. So today right now we are at 11 cents for Casper. A couple things that stand out on the chart. I see what looks like a rough head, left shoulder, head and right shoulder for Casper. With a, let's see if I can get some kind of a rough, perhaps that's a neckline. So if this is some kind of a head and shoulders forming, you would expect a lower price here, a breakdown to the downside for Casper. And that would probably get us to this range here, which would be 7 cents, which would correlate with this area over to our left in July of 2021. So a breakdown from this current head and shoulders get us down to this 7-cent area, and that would probably find support there, which was the trading range over here to the left of the screen in July of 2021. So that is just one thing I see here with Casper. I'm going to zoom back in. We are obviously in a trading range right now. I'm going to try to find a different tool to my left here on the toolbar. Let's see here. I am looking for this. So we are stuck in a trading range. Looks like since around early December 2021, we have basically been trading sideways between 13 cents to around kind of where we're at now, a little bit lower in the lower 11-cent range. An area that I would be looking to either add or to establish a position in Casper would be right around this 13-cent area. I think if we could see a break above that and a close above that, I think that could lead to a pretty good move to the upside, probably back up to this 21-cent old high put in back here on November 30th in 21. So this 13-cent area is an area I would look to add or to establish a position here in Casper. We have been nibbling a little bit down in these levels, but as I just mentioned, with this pattern here, this head and shoulders pattern, it is definitely more of a riskier place to establish. But on the reverse side of that, if we start to break out higher and get above this 13-cent range, I think that will prove this head and shoulders pattern invalid, at least for the short term, and I think we will be moving higher. So that's kind of the two scenarios I see. Zooming out here, taking a bigger look at the chart. We've essentially been in, I'm going to go from this area, August 7th, 2021, to over to today. This is a pretty big range we've been in since August, from 20 cents down to around 8 cents. So even a longer term place to establish a position would be right here, shown on my chart, which is that 20-cent area. So maybe you can look at this in two different ways. Perhaps you can look at it as, okay, 13 cents could be an area that I either open or add to a current position. And then if we continue to move higher and show strength, perhaps I'll add more in this 20-cent area, kind of averaging your way in. That's averaging, obviously, to the upside. Averaging to the downside is another way people do it, although that can be dangerous because prices can go much, much lower and for way longer than we think. So we like to buy strength, not necessarily buy weakness. All right, so I want to throw the Fibonacci's up on here. This might take me a minute. I'm going to give you, let's see, we'll do this high here, which was 492, so right around there works. And this low was 3 cents. So there's some real rough Fibonacci's, and I didn't go to this wick over here on May 11th, 21, but I will after I show you this scenario here. So if we're looking at the fibs, we took the high candle wick on May 12th, 2021, and then we actually came down to this low over here, which is around 3 cents. I guess I should probably adjust this to this high. Let me just do this real quick. Let's see, that was 66.44 and 0.03. All right, so forgetting what I just said, we actually are just going to go right to the high candle wick and give you some pretty crazy numbers here using the Fibonacci's. So what we did was we took on, it looks like the first day of trading here was May 11th, 2021. We hit a high of $66.44 and a low of 3 cents. That is quite the trading range, pretty insane. I don't even know if that's accurate, but that's what we're showing on the charts here, so we're just going to stick with that for right now. High of 66, low of 3 cents. And then obviously ever since that first trading day on May 11th, we have basically been trending down, and it looks like we found support right around this 11-cent range, between 11 and 20 cents. We are well below the 2.36 Fibonacci number, and if we are looking for some overhead areas that price can get attracted to, it can pull to, find resistance at, our first area is this 0.236, which is a $15.70 CASPER, and then it's all up from there. The 0.382 is a $25.39 CASPER. The 0.5 retracement is a $33 CASPER. 618 makes CASPER $41. The 0.786 is a $52 CASPER. And then if we happen to get back to the all-time highs for CASPER, that puts us at $66.44. Now, do I think we'll get up there? I don't know. But you can't really argue with what these numbers say and these overhead projections. Now, obviously, we could change this. We could take we'll take this wick here, which was a high of $4.92. Let's switch that. And this will give us obviously some different numbers. So if we just get back to that wick, it's at $4.92. Seems a little bit more realistic, but not putting anything else out of question in these markets. Cryptocurrency can make ridiculous moves to the upside and to the downside. Above that, we have the 1.618, which is $7.90, the 2.618, which is $12.83, 3.6, $17, and the 4.2, which is $20. So I think this is more of an area that you can not be surprised to see if Casper gets up to, because we've obviously traded in this range with this high was $4.92. So there's probably some good volume there. But when we start talking crazy numbers up in the 60s and well above that, I'm not quite so sure about that, but I'm not going to argue with what the Fibonacci's numbers say. But getting back up to this $4 range, $5 range, I think that will be not a problem once this thing breaks out. And you could actually compare this chart to other assets that have made their Fibonacci retracements and they've broken out to the upside. And this shows Casper making very large moves to the upside. Basically at any moment now, as what looks like with the way Bitcoin is making its last retracement. Usually this is when altcoins will make their massive run. And with cryptos like this one, like Casper, that is well below the 0.236, these are the ones that look the most possible to make their runs to the upside, as when it comes to getting long. If they were already up here at the full fib retracements, the 4.2s, the 3.6, not necessarily an area that we would be looking to purchase. Perhaps that's the opposite, an area you would be looking to take your profits. So with something way down here setting up to make a massive a move to the upside, it seems like a no-brainer if you are looking to get long some cryptos. Another one that is sitting in a similar position is Ripple XRP. Check out my last video where I compare that to Bitcoin. So let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are on Casper. Have you been establishing a position in Casper? Are you waiting till we get up to that 13 cent range or that 20 cent range like I just mentioned? Or perhaps are you looking to dollar cost average on the downside? So if we see a break down to that 7 cent range that I had mentioned, is that an area that you would be more comfortable getting into a position here in Casper? All right, everybody, I will leave links down in the video description. I appreciate you taking your time to watch this video. Consider subscribing to this channel. If you trade futures or cryptos or index ETFs, hit the like button if you found this video helpful. Turn on some post notifications if you want to be notified when our next video will be out. All right, everybody, remember stock markets are closed tomorrow due to the holiday. Crypto markets never close. They trade around the clock, which is great. And enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I will see you guys in the next video.